guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another plant video. Today we're talking hardest Hoyas. So basically all of these Hoyas are Hoyas that I would not recommend to people who are just starting off with Hoyas. I know that a lot of people who are starting to collect Hoyas sort of just kind of dive into the game without really realizing that Hoyas actually have different care tips, like per different kind of Hoya. So some thin Hoyas require more water, some Hoyas that are super succulent don't require as much water, some Hoyas really like to be like in super intense sun conditions, some like to be in the shade, some like to be in the cooler conditions. Like, it's really surprising how vastly different the care for certain types of Hoyas are. So I can't specifically talk about care tips in this video, but I am going to show you guys some Hoya that I think you should avoid if you're just starting out before you end up killing them. But first, I wanted to talk about the t-shirt that I'm wearing. I got this t-shirt from Thread Tank. Thread Tank actually sent me a few t-shirts, and I think that they're adorable, and I think that you guys should know about them. So this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now is super comfy. I pretty much live in t-shirts. Like, every time that I go to class, I wear a t-shirt and leggings. That's my uniform. I don't wear anything else, and I really like these. They're super soft, they fit comfortably. I ordered a size up because they are true to size. I just like a looser fit. I like things to sort of drape over me instead of like being tight. So yeah, I really like the t-shirts, and you should definitely check them out. If you want to get 10% off, I actually have a code with them. It's Lessia10. So if you want to shop their site, I'm definitely gonna leave some links down below. The third t-shirt that I got from them, I left in a little package because I wanted to show y'all that just the packaging is so adorable. I really like it when companies put a little extra effort into like their packing and stuff, because I don't know, it says a lot about the company in my opinion. But this shirt says Plant Lady on it. They're so cute. I really like the material, and it's just, you know, your basic t-shirt. And considering they have like a whole plant collection, again, I definitely recommend that you go and check them out. And again, I'll leave the links down below if you guys want to shop through those. But let's go ahead and get into the video. The Hoya DEYKEAE. DEYKEAE, it seems to go by multiple names, but this plant I actually got from Gabriella Plants. I think that it could potentially be having a fungal infection or just straight up sunburn. I'm leaning towards sunburn because this entire side of the plant where the red is sort of coming from is actually facing my grow lights. I also noticed that it's continuing to grow. As you can see right there, there is still some new growth coming in. So it's a really nice plant, and it's grown a lot for me since I got it. When I got it, it was struggling a little bit. It's just such a drama queen. Every time that I water this plant, it seems, it gets a yellow leaf. Like, no matter what, I can wait weeks before watering and it still gets a yellow leaf. Like, I thought at first that I was overwatering the plant, and I just like didn't know what I was doing, but it's just really that much of a diva. I don't recommend that you buy this plant if you're a beginner, because it really does have a learning curve, and I love it. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but it's expensive, so I wouldn't want you to lose your money on buying this plant and then having it die on you. So that's my first plant, Hoya DEYKEAE. Definitely don't think that you should buy it. The next plant is my Hoya ENDAUENSIS. This is an extremely small plant, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and the leaves are so unique and ruffled and gorgeous. But this plant, you guys, has really put me through the ringer, or whatever the saying is. I don't know sayings. Can you tell that I don't know sayings very well? This plant, it's just such a diva. It's such a drama queen. It's extremely finicky. If it doesn't like the environment that it's in, it will drop like all of its leaves and leave you with one leaf. So if you are gonna buy this, definitely buy a more established plant. And apparently it seems seems to really enjoy the grow tent that it's in. I don't personally like the sort of sun bleached yellowy look that it gives off, but this is a healthy plant. She doesn't like me very much, so yeah, that's my Hoya endauensis. That's number 2 on plants and Hoyas that are very, very difficult. The next plant is actually a plant that a lot of people seem to have trouble with. I personally haven't had too much trouble with this plant. I think because I bought it as a cutting, so it kind of acclimated to my environment, and I think just decided that it wanted to do well with me. This is a Hoya elliptica. It is such a stunning plant. This is probably one of my favorite Hoyas, and this one I think is actually worth the struggle. It doesn't like being dried out, so if you underwater this plant, it will look like a raisin. Like you can very obviously tell when it needs to be watered, but it's kind of difficult to get it to bounce back from that stage. So Hoya ellipticas tend to be very temperamental just because I know that their watering schedule is a little bit different than other Hoyas' watering schedule, and people have said that it starts losing leaves on you if you don't water it correctly or if you don't have it in the environment that it likes. I actually am just noticing that it did lose a little baby leaf on me. I adore her. She's the best. I just really, really like this plant. And I know this is supposed to be like a don't buy these plants video, but she's really cute, right? The next plant on my list is my Hoya lithophytica. Hoya lithophyticas are not talked about enough in my opinion. It is a really, really, really unique plant, and it's actually one of the harder ones to find because of its environment. The environment that it comes from is unlike any other Hoya that you probably have. This plant actually grows in limestone. I think that I read somewhere that it's going extinct somewhere in the wild, so I would not recommend that you go and buy this plant because there is a chance that you could kill it. I do know that it does have slightly different requirements than other Hoya, but if you are to find this plant and you are to buy this plant, it does amazingly well, like amazingly well in semi-hydro. I actually have 2 of these plants now, and I was so nervous that I wasn't going to be able to take care of it because I read so many things online that pretty much said like that it would be difficult. But so far, fingers crossed, it hasn't been bad in semi-hydro, and it really seems to be loving life, enough so that it grew so long that I decided to take a cutting from it, and that is the plant that I'm showing you now. This is actually a cutting from the other plant that I have in semi-hydro, and she's doing really, 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 really well. But again, I don't think that you should buy this plant if you're a beginner because it really does require you to sort of keep an eye on it. So yeah. And then the last plant that I have here to talk about is actually my CURTISII. So I've talked about my CURTISII multiple times on my channel. This is actually often recommended as being an easy plant. I would recommend personally getting cuttings instead of buying a large plant, but do note that they are popping up a lot in like different Lowe's and big box stores, so I'd recommend checking out there before buying them online, so that way you don't spend a ton of money on this plant. But just know, 1, this is not a rare plant in my opinion. It is not rare. Costa Farms is able to mass produce it, and here in Texas, I see them pretty regularly. So just CURTISII, just avoid them, honestly. They're a really pretty plant, and I love them. I do know that they just tend to lose their leaves a lot, and they get stressed out for no reason. I would personally steer clear of this. I don't see myself buying like a larger CURTISII anytime soon because they are ever so slightly harder than all the rest of the Hoyas that I have. But if you are to find one in a small pot like this or find cuttings, I'd recommend buying those as opposed to trying to buy a huge plant for tons of money. So yeah, that's the last plant that I have here to talk about. And now for my confession, my very sad confession. I killed my latifolia. So I had actually been warned and told that the Hoya latifolia is slightly a more difficult plant. I would assume because the leaves are so huge, it is kind of harder to gauge whether or not the plant needs to be watered. It also must be harder to sort of find the correct environment for it in terms of humidity and light. And my plant was a 2-leaf cutting, and surprisingly, I don't think that I did that bad with it at first. But I failed to realize that it was being attacked by scale. So my latifolia died from a huge scale attack. I actually had it isolated. I treated the plants around it. All the plants that were around it seemed fine. It didn't seem to affect the rest of the plants at all, but the latifolia got hit so hard. I definitely caught it way too late. But yeah, I think that is actually the first Hoya that has ever died on me. So I just maybe don't buy a latifolia. They are extremely expensive right now. Like, they're going for crazy nutso amounts of money, and I just don't think that you should spend your money on it. I really just think that there are several other Hoyas out there for beginners that are cool and rare and fun to look at that won't die on you. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the links to the t-shirts down below. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button down below, and if you like me or you like plant videos, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. But that's gonna be it for today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!